Shalom, everyone. Have a nice Sabbath for those that are celebrating the Shabbat. Okay, I'm going right into the message. This audio clip I entitle Accusers of the Most High. Yes. There is something very strange when you encounter people that are accusing the Most High. Think about it, guys. We live in a world where there is racial hatred. You have whites hating blacks, blacks hating whites, Hispanics hating both. You have black communities being oppressed by white supremacists. You also have black supremacists that attack vulnerable white folks. In Asia, you also have, between the Asian countries, you also have rivalries, so sometimes even bloody rivalries that goes back throughout history. Between Koreans and Japanese people, there is still friction about the Second World War, about what happened. You also have the oppression of the poor, which is common throughout human history, about few people dominating the resources needed for human life and therefore exercising illegitimate power over others. You see, even among the poor you have oppression. You see, these are the things you should become upset about. These are the things that you should fight. However, often people don't get offended or upset by these things, but they do get upset and offended when they encounter the Bible, when they encounter the Most High. When they are confronted with the evidence that the Most High is God, that He is Lord forever, they get furious. So they're not furious by the government forcing them to pay taxes. They're not furious by their abusive parents that talk dirty towards them. They're not offended by the fact that they are being abused by civil governments as a form of punishment to agree with society. They're not upset by any of that. They do not get offended when they witness how children being molested, abused in other countries in order for them to enjoy their selfish lifestyles. No, they're not offended or upset by any of that. The moment, however, that they encounter evidence that Jesus is Lord, they rage. Why? Because everything else they can use as an excuse to be self-centered. When they are confronted that they are obliged to give up their self-centeredness, when they are obliged to acknowledge that they are perpetrators also, they fight, they foment, they become bloodthirsty, want to kill people because they don't want to acknowledge their contribution to evil. They don't. Neither are they willingly to give up who they are and change. You see, they don't want to give up wickedness. So what do? They begin to accuse. They begin to look for some faults in the Most High. And they're using human behavior, especially human behavior of people that label themselves as believers. They're using their faulty behavior to justify their accusation against the Most High. You see? And listen to me. It's not because God has done anything wrong to them, nor because God failed them in any respect. Humans failed them, society failed them, and they know it very well. But they're not upset with them. Why? Because they've become just like them. It's only they don't have the resources to do the job themselves. And just like those that oppress them, they've joined them, they also are accusing the Most High now. Listen, people that accuse the Most High, they will always pretend to be the victim. They will always pretend to be victimized in some manner. And let's go further. Everyone that lives in accusation against the Most High, they will accuse others. All accusers of the Most High are bloodthirsty, all of them. Why do you think that they make blood sacrifices? Huh? Why do you think that blood sacrifices are so important in paganism? Why? Why is that throughout history you can find mass graves of mass sacrifices made unto the gods. Why? It's because everyone that lives in accusation against the Most High, they're filled with hatred. And this hatred needs a let out. They need to release that hatred from time to time, or else they die. Literally. Hatred causes a lot of stress and it can kill you. So they will look out for some victim to blame. And this you can read about this in Psalms chapter 2. You can also read how the Lord Most High is laughing at those people because he knows that their end is coming. So, fellow believers, realize this. When people choose to be in accusation against the Most High, it does not matter how much you pray for them or how much you serve them, they are still in accusation against the Most High. You are not responsible for them being in accusation against the Most High. They are. So when you shake the dust off your feet, you are releasing yourself from unnecessary burdens. Do this. Obey the Lord. Shalom.